KHTK. We do sports. Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Third hour already. This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. A rough day in Northern California sports on Sunday. The 49ers lost 38-27 to the Chiefs, and it looks like they may have lost quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo for the season. The team fears he has an ACL injury. That won't be confirmed until he has an MRI later today. San Francisco is now 1-2 on the year. The Raiders fell to 0-3 with a 28-20 loss to the Dolphins in Miami. And the A's had a chance to clinch a playoff spot in their final home game of the year, but they fell 5-1 to the Twins. They also could have pulled it within a half game. Easy for me to say. The first wild card following the Yankees' loss to the Orioles. The A's are in Seattle tonight with another chance to clinch a playoff berth. And in golf, Tiger Woods won the Tour Championship. It was his first tournament win since 2013. It's 8:03 and time to get to StocktonHonda.com anytime, anywhere.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Carr wants this first down call by Coach Gruden from the gun. Look out! Throws it as he's hit end zone, intercepted. It was picked off by Howard. Bryant was the target, but Derek Carr was hit on the release.
You know, we mishandled a couple balls, honestly, on third down today. Got in trouble in pass protection on a couple times. It's hard to go 80 yards in this league repeatedly against a good defense. Hopefully we start getting some turnovers and some returns in our special teams and set up some better field position.
I think that we need to finish our practice better, finish our lifts better, finish meetings better, finish everything better, because clearly we're doing a good job at the beginning, right? But I think that we can finish in all phases better, and I think that that's what's going to put us over the hump. You know, it's no secret. You know, we're running the same plays, we're, getting the same looks and all those things. We just got to, I think the little things we need to finish better.
Hey now.
All right, so that's Derek Carr. Before him, John Gruden. Before him, the highlights or low light, if you will, of the game from a Raider standpoint. Raider fan check in at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Or you can check in on the text line brought to you by Jiffy Lube at 441140. Of course, according to the poll yesterday, when I asked what the top story we should cover is today, I think it was 46% of you said the Niners and Jimmy Garoppolo. 45% said Tiger Woods. 16% or something like that said the A's. It was like 5%. I know the math doesn't add up, so shut up. But like 5%. It was 5 or 4% said the Raiders. Raider fans disgusted right now. Raider fan is disgusted. I'm going to take a stab here because they're moving to Las Vegas. They're once again losing a home game this year. That's a Seattle match up. John Gruden has a $100 million contract and hasn't won a game in a decade. They traded away probable Hall of Famer Khalil Mack and shockingly are having trouble, rushing the passer. And they're 0-3. So my guess is Raider fan has a lot on their mind. Kind of to drive that point home about Khalil Mack, not to twist the knife here. Khalil Mack has recorded a sack and a forced fumble in all 3 games this season. The last player to record a sack and a forced fumble in 3 straight games, any idea?
I believe it was Khalil Mack.
Who did it from week 12 through 14 in 2016. Raider fan is not happy. Now I'm going to go back to what we said at 640. You can call it excuses all you want. If you want to be that guy, like, there's no excuse. They're on 3, bro. It's all that matters. They're on 3. If you don't win, you lose. In second place, first loser, and they lose, and you're losers. And no excuse. That's fine. Yeah, they never played sports. You're one of those dumb guys that played sports.
What's kind of, I don't want to say funny, it's a little bit sad, is yesterday Khalil Mack forced another fumble. Mm-hmm. And I tweeted, you guys are never going to believe this, but Khalil Mack just caused a quarterback to fumble. And several Raider fans were like, hey, you're beating a dead horse.
No, you're beating a horse that is forcing fumbles and sacks.
This has nothing to do with the Raiders. Khalil Mack is just excellent at football.
Yes.
The fact that Raider fan thinks that that's tweets about them tells you everything you need to know about the move the Raiders made.
Denial. It's not just a river in Egypt, buddy.
I agree.
Let me give you some spots.
Is there? I want to ask you a question.
Please.
Real quick.
Ask me the question.
Is there going to be a point in this season where we stop talking about the Raiders in the context of Khalil Mack?
No.
Or Khalil Mack in the context of the Raiders?
Only if they no, because I was just going to say only if they reel off a bunch of wins. But even if they reel off those wins, at some point we're going to be saying, and Raider fan will be saying, well, how much better would they be with Khalil Mack? Oh, my God, they made it to the AFC Championship game and lost, which would, by the way, be a resounding success on the season, and John Gruden would probably be Coach of the Year. But when they lose in that AFC Championship game, for example, it would be they would have been in the Super Bowl with Khalil Mack. That's what it would be. Let me give you some numbers on the Raiders. Did this research on my own, y'all, so the numbers might be wrong. But I really did go through and add up this stuff. Yesterday, they got outscored 21-10.
Wrong.
I read it in the box score. They got outscored 21-10. Now, what do we say, Kyle? After the Rams game, we said, you know what? Sean McVay is one of the best in the business, if not the best. The Rams are just better.
Okay, I actually have a question now.
Okay.
You said they got outscored 21-10. In what context?
Huh?
They lost 28-20.
What do you mean? I'm in the second half.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking for.
God.
Okay, you just didn't specify.
I said they outscored 21-10 in the second half.
You did not.
Oh, let's go to the tape on that.
I'm going to the tape. I'm going to the tape. No, I'm going to the tape.
The Raiders got outscored yesterday 21-10 in the second half. And we've talked about this. The Rams adjusted and were better. They went to Denver and once again outscored them in the first half. And that's the second game of the year in elevation. They are the oldest team in the NFL. The Broncos, I know that you've heard this stat before, but the Broncos were 32-3 in the first two games of the season over the last 30 years. Think about that. That's not a fluke. Yes, Kyle Madson. Yesterday they got outscored 21-10.
Wrong.
I read it in the box score. Oh, no. Here's what happened, though. They got outscored 21-10. Now, what do we say, Kyle? Wait, go back further, though, because wasn't I talking about the second half? Didn't I lead into that with the second half? Pretty sure I did. That's what it would be. Let me give you some numbers on the Raiders. Did this research on my own, y'all, so the numbers might be wrong. But I really did go through and add up this stuff. Yesterday, they got outscored 21-10 in the second half. I read it. You interrupted me. You clearly interrupted me. 21-10. Now, what do we say, Kyle? After fine, Kyle 1, Dave nothing. Yes, Kyle Madson in the back.
I was just celebrating.
Oh, were you? Well, there's a flag on the play.
I was just soaking in my rightness.
There's, I cannot wait for Nostradumbass. I can't believe I stood in front of you earlier today with that Titans-Jags thing.
God, I was right about that, too. I am just dynamite at this.
The Raiders got outscored 21-10 in the second half.
Oh, shoot, I deleted all the Nostradumbass audio.
Yesterday. The Raiders have outscored their opponents so far this year. By the way, they're opponents that are 8-1. They have outscored them 35-17 in the first half. They're opponents that are 8-1, and they've played two of them on the road with two massive environmental home field advantages: the elevation in Denver and the humidity in Miami. Have you ever done an athletic event in humidity? Do it and then tell me that's not a big deal. Have you ever done an athletic event in Denver elevation? Do it and then tell me that that's not an advantage. It's not the only reason they lost. It's not the primary reason they lost. But I think 3 games in, when you see a pattern that they've been outscored 64-17 in the second half, environment's part of the reason. Sorry. So when I look at the fact that they've played 2 of their first 3 on the road, their opponents are a combined 8-1. Their opponents are a combined 8-1, and really the screwiest thing there is that their opponents should probably be 9-0. I mean, how many of us expected the Broncos to lose the Ravens yesterday? I didn't. 8-1. It's a tale of two halves. So, no, I don't think the Raiders are as bad as a lot of people think. I think the Raiders, even if Jimmy Garoppolo hadn't been hurt yesterday, I wouldn't be able to tell you which team was better, the 1-2 Niners or the 0-3 Raiders, based on their schedules. Not that the Niners had an easy schedule. We'll be able to tell when they play at home versus the Browns. If the Raiders lose to the Browns, who, by the way, as we know, are not last year's Browns, I get it, then we're going to have a problem. They come out and they beat the Browns. They're 1-3. They show up against the Chargers, and then they come home against the Seahawks. I think that's going to be an important game. That's where we're going to figure a lot of stuff out, assuming they beat the Browns and lose to the Chargers. The Chargers and the Seahawks are two teams that I think might be better than the Raiders, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I think the Chargers definitely are. The Seahawks, I think, are very even with the Raiders.
Derek Carr throws 2 interceptions yesterday, but he goes for 345. Jordy Nelson went absolutely bat-you-know-what crazy yesterday. And by the way, I believe that's the second time this year, two out of 3 games, they've had a receiver go over 170 yards in a game. I think, Jared Cook have 184, 180-something?
187.
187. Oh, we murdered it. See, 187. That's a pretty big deal. And not for nothing, but Marshawn Lynch has actually been fairly effective this year. Although the whole let's not hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch on the goal line play, I'm wondering if John Gruden could maybe call Pete Carroll and ask him how that works out.
Is anyone ever going to figure that out?
Not hard.
Hey now.
Has Marshawn Lynch ever run a ball just up the middle and not gone for 6 inches, a foot?
Right.
That's why he's on the team.
It's the entire reason he's on the team. He carries defenders with him.
Go watch their first touchdown of the year. Just Marshawn Lynch is dragging the Rams' defense into the end zone.
That's not why they lost. But I think stuff like this, let's put it this way, the Raiders' problems are a lot more fixable than the Niners' problems. So I wouldn't jump off the ledge just yet, Raider fan. Derek Carr, 345, a touchdown, couple of picks. Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. And by fine, I mean I think they're going to be flirting with 500 at the end of the year. But man, Raider fan is not all of them, but I've seen a ton. I'm done with them for the year, Dave.
There is. Go ahead.
No, that's all I'm saying.
There's two. From what I've noticed, sects of Raider fans. There is
sects.
SECTS.
Gotcha.
2 sections of Raider fans.
Sure.
There is, I'm done with them. Gruden's a mistake. Everything he does is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I hate them. And then there's Raider fan that's like, the refs are out to get us. They should be 3-0. Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Khalil Mack's not even good.
Well, you have that section of Raider fan that you have every year, and I think
it is the
Raiders,
arguably the most diehard section of fan base.
The ones that think they're going to the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah,
I mean, you can call it diehard. That's a great way to say it.
Even when they're trash, they're like F you and your team.
Yeah, so you call that diehard, huh?
Irrational. Every fan base has them,
right?
Like every.
I call that section of fans. For every fan base, those are the stupid ones. I think that's another word for it. They're
that's
actually
fair.
The ones.
Not irrational because fandom
nicer.
in general. It is the blind blindly loyal and optimistic, the Matt Georges of the world. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Stupid's too harsh. Well, I take that back. They're blissfully ignorant. There you go.
That's very good.
Blissfully ignorant.
Like, imagine watching your team. It would be like watching the Niners yesterday, and most of the second half against the Lions, just watching their defense get shredded, while their offense just kind of moved in quicksand for a better portion of the second half against the Lions and the first half against the Chiefs, and going, dude, the refs.
Right.
Injuries.
Yep.
Hey, CJ Beathard's taking this team to the Super Bowl, man. I can't imagine that.
Did you know that Marshawn Lynch had only 4 less tackles yesterday than Reggie Nelson, who led the team?
Ooh. Holy smokes.
Marshawn Lynch had 4 less tackles. Reggie Lynch, by the way, had 5. Marshawn Lynch made a tackle. I believe on one of those picks.
Oof. The Dolphins, 2 Dolphins players high-fived on their way into the end zone.
That was brutal.
That is the biggest L. Like, they're celebrating on the way to the end zone. Like, Tyreek Hill does the deuces as he's running into the end zone. That's one thing.
Yeah.
The Dion high step. But the high five on the way into the end zone.
Other than being Miami Dolphins defensive players, Kyle, here, a quick trivia question for you. Please just don't try to answer it. What do Kiko Alonso, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jerome Baker, Bobby McCain, Vincent Taylor, and TJ McDonald all have in common?
They all had more tackles than the Raiders' leading tackler yesterday.
That is 100% correct. Kiko Alonso and Minka Fitzpatrick had 15
Fitzmagic
and 10 tackles each. That's triple and quadruple what the Raiders' leading tackler yesterday, Reggie Nelson, had. My goodness gracious.
Want to know some good news for the Raiders?
Can I give you one last tackling stat?
Please, please. I love tackling
There's
stats.
obviously peripheral reasons for this. I get it, but it just jumps out at you. The Oakland Raiders made 38 tackles yesterday. The Miami Dolphins had 91. That's just...
What? I heard you, but wow.
91 to 38. I mean, there are reasons why that happened that you can point to. One of them being the Raiders' time of possession was 38 minutes and the Dolphins was 21. You want to talk about dominating time of possession, but that's where stats become misleading sometimes, because when you're reeling off massive plays, that's a thing. They had a 74, a 52, and a 34, and a 36-yard catch.
That's not even necessarily an indictment on the Raiders necessarily. That is just the Dolphins offense. Yeah. Like, typically every offense has that one Tyreek Hill type player that's
That's Jakeem Grant, by the way. That kid looked amazing yesterday.
But Jakeem Grant can do that. Kenny Stills can do that. Albert Wilson can do that. They have 3 guys, plus Danny Amendola.
By the way, Kenyon Drake isn't slow, just for the record.
So they have a ton of receivers that are just stupid fast that are going to break long plays like that. And they're going to do that all year. It's part of the reason they're 3-0.
From the 916, Dave, that's like rooting for the Kings for so many years. Is that stupid? No, see, because you're dumb, you're missing. I mean, this kind of going to my point here, not to be mean, but what we're saying.
Sticking with your team and thinking your team is going to go 16-0 every year is very different.
Okay, now let me try it again in a way that might work better for the texter.
Please.
What we are saying is there is difference between sticking with your team and thinking your bad team is going to go 16-0. There's a big difference. That's why they call fans fanatics. There's no logical reason why I should be a Kings fan or you should be a Niner fan right now or whatever. Life would be a lot better if you could just Hey, you know what? I'm going to be a Tampa Bay fan this week. They're looking good. That's be fun. If they suck, maybe next week I'll be a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, my Eagles aren't looking too good right now, but my Dolphins,
yeah,
I got to tell you.
It's The Drive. Welcome in. Hello. I didn't screen the call, so I don't know who this is. Caller.
Hello?
Yeah, that's you. What's up?
Oh. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
What's up, boss?
Hey. A long-time Raider fan. Just real quick, I'm listening to you guys. I'm in the camp that you don't trade talented players for draft picks.
Smart man.
I'm sorry?
He said smart man.
Oh, yeah. You don't trade talented players in hope of, the picks being half as good. And that's basically what they did. I mean, you clearly it's just, and you guys are right. I'm starting to encounter the Raider fans on Twitter or whatever in the atmosphere that say, and this is the honest God truth, he doesn't impact games. I was just talking to a guy on Twitter right now that says he doesn't impact games. And he doesn't – his main deal was they only scored three points in the second half, so what was he going to do to affect that? And I simply said, well, I don't know, a strip sack on their side of the field. I mean, in the opponent's territory, that might get us some points. And his comeback was, well, I seen what those contracts did with Jamarcus Russell. That, we can't get our – and I'm thinking to myself, Jamarcus Russell, like, what the hell are you talking about right now?
Listen, I'm going to give you some advice that I should take myself because we got to go to break, but I'm going to give you the advice that I really should listen to. As we were just kind of talking about, there are dumb people, and what you're dealing with right now is simply a dumb person. So unless you can reach a needle through Twitter and inject them with brain cells, somebody who's actually trying to die on the hill of Khalil Mack doesn't affect ball games. That's the guy in Iraq who, with all the bombs going off behind him, remember that meme, was saying there's no bombs here. What are you talking about? Meanwhile, it's a fireworks show behind him. He's saying there's no bombs here. Again, if you want to be blissfully ignorant, God bless you. But you're not going to be taken seriously. Khalil Mack affects ball games. and John Gruden's not going 16-0, and he's also not going 13-3. But I do think it's going to be a lot better than what some people might think. 0-3. The Bills beat Minnesota. Nobody saw that coming. How about 75? I saw these numbers from Yahoo and their survivor pool, which very quickly, you pick a team each week to win outright. Point spreads don't matter. You start the season, everyone throws $20 or whatever into the pool. You pick a team to win each week. That's it. And if your team wins, you're still in it. You can't pick the same team twice during the course of the season. That's generally your rules. Well, apparently between the Vikings, the Jaguars, and the Patriots, Yahoo lost 75% of their Survivor Pick'em participants yesterday. There's going to be a lot of these Survivor pools with 100 people or more that are going to be over by week 5. We'll take a break. I see your phone calls on there. If you're still there when we get back, I promise I will get to you first. It's also, we'll switch it up for a second, Sacramento Kings Media Day today. If you have questions, we'll get into that a little bit as well. Kyle Madson.
I'm also going to have some Sac Republic tickets to give away in the final hour.
The playoff bound Sacramento Republic.
Yes, sir. Got 2 tickets to 2 games.
2 tickets to 2 games.
Baby.
Yeah, see? By the way, on Facebook yesterday, I love how you were quoting that Journey song.
And then that.
Yeah. You said smell of wine and cheap perfume, SMELLA, and that actually made me LOL, for real, like a little snicker out loud. So
wow.
I guess that would be a SOL.
Little
snicker. LSOL. I LSOL'd.
You Lysoled.
I Lysoled. We'll take a break. We're back in a couple with more stupidity right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Week 3 of the NFL concludes tonight with Monday Night Football. One of the early stories of the season has been the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the play of veteran QB Ryan Fitzpatrick.
A great throw on third down by Ryan Fitzpatrick. My goodness, is there anything he can't do?
The Steelers have been stuck in neutral and are desperate to get their engine running.
A tie. So we're going to take this in little nibbles. We'll take a tie, and then we'll come back another day and win.
Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh tonight on Monday Night Football here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
I love the texters sometimes. But Dave, you guys got Gruden. You were supposed to go undefeated 10 years straight. You got what do you mean? What do you mean, you guys? I'm a Niner fan. I don't care. I mean, I care because I have Raider fan friends and we're the home of the Raiders. I also care about Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with limit, no limit hold'em, blackjack, pie-gow poker, baccarat, of course, 3-card poker. My favorite. They also have the best food and the best service to go with those best games. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, brought to you by Staybill, America's #1 fuel stabilizer and ethanol treatment. It took 5 years, but Tiger Woods is back in the winner's circle, folks. In between tour wins number 79 and number 80, Woods has suffered through scandals, debilitating back pain, surgeries, rehabs, and a long comeback, finding a swing and rebuilding his game. At least 4 times this year, Woods was within striking distance on the final round, back 9. Yesterday, at age 42, he finally sealed the deal. I just can't believe I pulled this off after what the season's gone through, he said, choking back emotion as he received the distinctive Calamity Jane Tour Championship trophy. I had a hard time not crying coming up the last hole, added Woods, who also banked a $3 million bonus for his second-place FedEx Cup standings finish behind Justin Rose. Now, it's on to Paris for this weekend's Ryder Cup. What a roller coaster ride it's been for Tiger Woods. I'm Boomer Esiason.
It's not going anywhere this winter. It's the only convertible like it. Let me get this custom cover on.
Hold on there, neighbor. Are you storing it with Staybill in the gas?
Store it with what?
Staybill Storage conditions gas so it doesn't break down into sludge and water, clogging and corroding engines, like someone else you might know.
Awesome! Can I borrow some?
Sure. After you return my leaf blower, my chainsaw, my weed
Staybill Storage. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's, because at Lowe's, pros can get up to 35% off select appliance special values. You can even save $138 on a GE Appliances White Kitchen Suite, now only $14.68. Plus, from $9.25 through $9.27, ask for 5% off all in-store purchases and save an extra 5% when you use your Lowe's Business Credit account. So, Pro, now that you know, start with Lowe's. Appliance special values valid through 10/17. GE Appliances offer valid through 9/26. Credit offer subject to credit approval and can't be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
For professional staffing, there's only one name you need to know. Robert Half. Robert Half custom matches our candidates to your specific hiring requirements by combining personalized service from local staffing experts with an advanced matching technology based on 70 years of successful placements. For highly skilled accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, or administrative staffing, count on Robert Half. We'll find you productive, engaged employees. Learn more at roberthalf.com/radio.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and a member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
Sacramento Republic FC is back in action Saturday, September 29th at Papa Murphy's Park, first to Portland Timbers 2. Game time, 7:30 p.m. Go to sacrepublicfc.com for ticket info.
Sports 1140, driven by Lexus of Roseville.
Here at Roseville, think Lexus. Now think hyper convenient, because you can schedule your service appointment online at lexusofroseville.com 24/7. Located in the Roseville Auto Mall.
Now your sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Niners lost to the Chiefs yesterday, 38-27. They also fear they've lost Jimmy Garoppolo, their starting quarterback, for the season with an ACL injury. He will have an MRI later on today to confirm the extent of that left knee injury. San Francisco falls to 1-2 on the year with the loss. The Raiders fell to 0-3 on the year with a 28-20 loss to the Dolphins in Miami. And the A's had a chance to clinch a playoff spot in their final home game of the season, but they fell to the Twins 5-1. Oakland also could have pulled within a half game of the first wild card after the Yankees lost to the Orioles. Alas, they stayed a game and a half back. The A's are in Seattle tonight with a chance to clinch a playoff berth.
So you just rocking alas?
Yes.
You just threw an alas in there and thought you were just going to roll through?
Yeah, man.
Were you J.R.R. Tolkien?
No, actually.
Alas.
I picked up Alas from the final, I think it's the final page or final, definitely the last chapter of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone when Dumbledore it's 8:33 and time to get to Stockton Honda and time to get to StocktonHonda.com anytime anywhere. Yeah. Alas, earwax.
Sad that I know that.
Yeah. But now you know because that's such an iconic line.
Now,
Dumbledore can say alas. Gandalf, I think, has probably dropped an alas. I don't think anybody uses alas over here. It doesn't, unless you're a wizard. Wizards can say alas. Alas.
So can.
Alas.
If maybe no, never mind. I was gonna make a lassie joke, but it wasn't gonna work.
No. Alas, if you were in that Irish for a lady.
Yes.
Alas. Alas, we only have 30 minutes left in the program. I'm sorry. I would expect you, if I said alas, to call me on it. I'm not saying it's bad. Heretofore. From henceforth. Hey.
From whence we came.
King's Media Day is today. It's, a week from today, be playing Phoenix in preseason game number 1. Let's get some unscreened phone calls, which is always an amazing idea. Caller, it's Dave, it's Kyle, it's The Drive. Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Long time Raider fan, and look, I agree with pretty much everything you guys are saying. I mean, I'm optimistic. I think the Raiders haven't looked that bad. We just have to find a way to close. I mean, each week, one of our standouts have made big plays. Cook, Cooper. Yesterday was Nelson. And
yeah.
I think the big thing is finding a way to get them all clicking at the same time. But you don't recover from trading Khalil Mack, and it's just you're not. And I think the nerve-wracking thing about it is that okay, say we do go 3-13 this year. Say we're one of the worst teams in the league. We don't recover. We got a top 5 pick. And Nick Bosa's sitting there at number 1, number 2, number 3. Is John Gruden smart enough to pick him? I mean, I have more concerns now just than him trading Khalil Mack. Is he going to make the right picks to make this team better? He's an offensive-minded coach. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if we had a top draft pick and he goes on the offensive side of the ball.
Let me add.
I mean, there's a lot. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say you're a longtime Raider fan, and I'm putting you on a spot for a reason. So don't feel bad. But can you tell me Oakland Raider first-round draft picks that were made under John Gruden that were good?
One, Charles Woodson.
There you go. Did he make the Woodson?
Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah, he did. I think that was his first draft pick ever as a Raider. I think it was his first draft.
I feel like Seabass was Al Davis, by the way. That's just my thought. I could be wrong. But we're talking about it. Kyle, what year did Gruden get there? Do you remember off the top of your head? So
98?
I think it was 98, 99. So their first-round picks, we'll just start in 99.
1998 was his first year as a Raiders head coach.
Okay, Charles Woodson and Mo Collins. Phenomenal. Then he had Matt Stinchcomb, Sebastian Janikowski, Derek Gibson, Philip Buchanan, Napoleon Harris. Nnamdi Asomugha had some really good years.
Nnamdi had some good years with the Raiders.
Tyler Brayton, Robert Gallery, Fabian Washington, Michael Huff, Jamarcus Russell. That's not a really good track record.
Well, not all those were John Gruden. You got to keep in mind.
No. And I think overall, beyond Gruden, just the Raiders in general, up until really Reggie McKenzie had a really long stretch where they – now, past is not prologue. I get it.
Well, oh, that guy can't hear me. There we go.
There you go.
We've also seen that Gruden has hired his own personnel guy and is running a second scouting department.
Yeah. Saw that. Heard that.
Not great.
No.
Also too, it stings because if you look 2 years ago, we thought we were making a Super Bowl run, and we felt like we finally turned the corner, and we had Reggie McKenzie, we had a GM for the first time in forever, and he had finally put a team together that we could really build on, and look at where we are from 2 years ago. I think that stings just as much as the fact that we let go of the best player in the league, or top 2 players in the league when it comes to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. Ride or die with your team. I can root for anyone else if I tried, so I got to live with it. So
that's 100%. That's 100% fair, and that's how it should be. You don't abandon your. Raider fan has the right to abandon ship. But abandon ship because they're moving to Vegas, abandon ship because ownership's crapping on the fans, abandon ship because of the Mac trade. Don't abandon ship because they're 0-3. If that makes sense, there's a lot of reasons why you could give up your Raider fandom if you wanted. That's one of those ones where I wouldn't accuse you of bandwagoning because your team is moving, but not because they're 0-3. It's The Drive. Who's this?
It's Mike. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
How are you guys? Big time Raider fan, and I'm kind of the opposite. So, as you said, Carmichael, Dave, you think the Raiders probably be 500 at the end of the year?
I think it's in play. I think it's in play for sure.
Yeah, we keep Khalil Mack. All right, what's that do? Gives an extra win. He was with the Raiders last year. We won 6 games. I love Khalil Mack. Now we have to look at the business side of it. You cannot pay Khalil Mack $141 million and expect the franchise to continue to grow.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You literally can. Teams do it all the time.
2 players.
Say that again.
$50 million between 2 players. So I know right now, outside looking in, because of what's going on with the Raiders, John Gruden has a target on his back. He has to make those tough decisions. So, once again, Khalil Mack was with the Raiders last year. We won 6 games.
Right, but how many would you have? But let me ask you this: how many would you have won without Khalil Mack?
Probably 4.
And that's arbitrary.
Jason won $24 million, $2 million every Sunday for stepping on the field. That's not going to give you a real opportunity to win the Super Bowl with this team.
Do you think the Bears are not going to sign Mitchell Trubisky when his deal comes up and they still have Khalil Mack?
Might not because he stinks.
Well, that's
true.
3 years from now. So Khalil Mack will then be, 30 years old?
And how do you think
they're all in right now with Trubisky, right?
And how do you think the Rams figured it out?
Once again, their quarterbacks in the first 5 years, right?
Sure, but they've also spread a ton of other money around. It's not just Jared Goff.
That the Rams had, though. So John Gruden's in a tough position, right? So let's start looking back next year or the year after. We have 4 first-round draft picks. So the salary cap for the next 5 years is looking pretty if we can draft right, question mark, if we could draft right, because of the history of what you guys just talked about on the previous caller.
Why
comes into play?
Why does it matter if they have cap space if they're not going to use it?
You have to have cap space to use it. They didn't have cap space before, so they couldn't use it.
But they have it now. That's the point.
Now they have it because
they could have fit Khalil Mack
to a $141 million contract.
There are ways to make it work, and the Raiders just didn't. They made a mistake, man. It's not that hard.
Side of it. There wasn't a way, because if there was a way, they would have did it.
So the Raiders can only have one good player on their team at a time?
Well, let me ask you a question. Name me one team that signed their defensive star to a big contract that won 10 games after they signed that person.
And I've heard,
the Rams are about to do it.
Yeah, number one, the Rams are pretty good. You're right. Number two, and I've heard this argument before where it's like, name me one team. But there's outliers with every champion, almost. There's outliers with every. Well, name me one 39-year-old quarterback that made the Super Bowl. That doesn't happen. Name me this. Name me. And I get it. And listen.
Well, I could name one Tom Brady. You can't.
That's
name
what.
one.
That's what I'm saying. And what you're saying is that they traded Mack now you're going to have these picks, and you very well, let me give this to you. We could be sitting here 4 years from now and going, you know what, that was a sucky couple of years. But now they have all this room, and they drafted this guy and that guy, and they're absolutely amazing, and they're in a good spot. Isn't there also a part of you, too, though, that what part of town do you live? Let me ask.
I live in Rockland.
Okay. What about also the Raider organization turning to the fans that have been loyal and that have shown up through thick and thin and through all the crap years of the Raiders? What about the organization saying, you know what, you probably only have 8 home games left in Oakland because they're probably moving next year. We're going to put one of those in London, and we're going to punt on this season because we want to shore everything up for Vegas. That doesn't bother you?
That sucks as an NFL Raider fan. Yes, it does suck, but they give Oakland tremendous amount of opportunities to do it right. Look at the Sacramento Kings. They did it right for us. Oakland didn't. So as a business, and I go back to the business side of it, there's a part of this is this business side that Tommy Boy, which I like to call him, which is Davis Jr., had to make a business decision, you know, and it sucks. It's going to be faster for me to catch a flight to Vegas than it is for me to drive to Oakland. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to support them regardless if they're in Las Vegas or L.A. or it's not the first rodeo. It's not my first rodeo.
And you don't mind them crapping on you like that?
I mind it. I'm more pissed at the city of Oakland than I am the Oakland Raiders.
That's fair. That's fair. And listen, I couldn't agree with him less, but just because I disagree with him, guy makes salient points that could end up being true.
He had thoughts.
He had thoughts, and he had opinions that I get the argument.
Sure.
I understand the argument, which is we're tying everything up. We weren't going to win a Super Bowl with Khalil Mack. We don't want to tie everything up so that we can be a playoff team out in the first. I understand the argument. In the meantime, you're an 0-3 team that can't rush the passer.
And if that is your philosophy, then you're not going to get any free agents. Any of your draft picks that become superstar talents, you will not be signing. And the argument of name a defensive player there's not a defensive player who's more impactful than Khalil Mack. Like there's not.
Yeah. I get it, man. I don't agree with it, but I get it. We'll take a break. When we come back, Nostradumbass. We'll also get to what's on tap for this evening. And don't forget, tomorrow, we're going to be awarding our driveys.
And I'm also going to give away some tickets right now at this break.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to. I've got a pair of tickets to see the Sacramento Republic FC. You're playoff bound. Sacramento Republic FC take on Portland this Saturday and Swope Park Rangers next Wednesday.
Wow.
At Papa Murphy's Park. Get your tickets and more info at sacrepublicfc.com.
Let me add something to that. That game against Portland this weekend, that's the biggest game of the year. I'm not joking. I'm just saying.
All right.
It's the biggest game of the year.
We'll win some tickets to that.
What caller?
Let's go third caller.
All right. Third caller.
Right now.
339-1140. We'll take a break. We'll come back. What's on tap in Nostradumbass right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
It's that time. Text the word GAME to 441140 and enter the Home Theater Company code word of the day for your chance to win a Samsung Blu-ray player. And 2 lucky winners will get brand new televisions. Listen and win all week, courtesy of Home Theater Company. Get more information at KHTK.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friend Dr. Jack Friedlander and everybody over at NorCal Lipo. Hey, I was looking at some of those pictures from Sports Fest. I saw some pictures with me in it up on stage. I was like, oh, my God. Hey, Dave, how's that belly working out for you? The summer was really good to me. You're supposed to be the thinnest this time of year and then pack on the pounds for the holidays. I'm doing it the wrong way. I might have to swoop in and take some of that Vaser high-def technology Dr. Jack's got and change my world. As he says, everybody's got a six-pack. You got muscles. You have those muscles in your tummy that is covered by, fat. If you're happy with the way you look, you're happy with the way you look. Good for you. Seriously, good for you. I'm not joking. That's great. Have a good body image. We're not trying to shame anyone. We never are. But if you are somebody that is unhappy, and especially if you're somebody that tries to do the work, diet, exercise, whatever it may be, and you still can't figure out certain parts of your body, they still can't look the way you want them, or you're somebody like me who doesn't work out and doesn't eat right all the time and just wants a shortcut, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what science is for. Go see Dr. Jack Friedlander right up there in Roseville. Get yourself a free, no-obligation consultation at 347-7755. That's 916-347-7755 at NorCalLipo.com. That's NorCalLipo.com. Get in there today, and you tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
It's the perfect time to get a new kitchen, bathroom, or patio remodel for zero money down, zero interest, and zero payments for the first 12 months at Quality First Home Improvement. Need a brand new HVAC unit? Well, you can get the new Quality First Comfort HVAC system that will keep you comfortable and warm during the cold winter months ahead. Quality First Home Improvement is voted the best contractor in the area and is a full-service remodeler who will do it all for you and will also finish most projects in just 3 to 4 weeks. Again, they will do it all for you for zero money down, zero interest, and zero payments for the first 12 months. This offer is just too good to pass up. It makes going with Quality First Home Improvement the smart thing to do. For more information on this amazing offer and to get a free in-home estimate, call 855-80-12345. That's 855-80-12345. Or visit them online at qualityfirsthome.com. Quality First Home Improvement, your contractor for life. License number 875772.
Since we've had USAA, we've had 2 claims. We had an auto insurance claim and a homeowner's claim. The auto insurance claim, we were rear-ended, and my daughter was actually in the car when it happened. I called USAA. I downloaded the app, and from there on out, it was a very seamless process. They really understood, and they were actually concerned about my daughter's well-being and her safety.
From the moment he uploaded the photos to taking the damaged vehicle to the auto body and having a rental car there, USAA understands the day-to-day life. This is our home. These are our cars. This is where we pick up our kids from school. This is how we get to work.
I feel USAA is very committed to getting you back on your feet. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
See how much you could save with USAA by bundling your auto and home insurance. Get a quote today.
Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Product membership eligibility and bundling savings restrictions apply and are subject to change. Members paid for their participation. United Services Automobile Association and its affiliate, San Antonio, Texas.
So you say it hasn't happened to you yet. Well, we hope it never does. But chances are, sooner or later, your pipes will clog and you'll have a drainage problem. It's a part of home ownership that stinks, sometimes literally. And DIY quick fixes won't cut it. Fortunately, the home service heroes at Bonnie can fly out to your house and make that big problem go away fast. Yep, in 8 out of 10 cases, Bonnie can make your drain problem go away by cabling out your drain line for just $97. And if you're the exception, you'll really be glad you called Bonnie and not some Jake with a snake plumbing and drain guy. Bonnie has the specialized cameras to diagnose your problem correctly. And our stand-up techs will show you the pictures, explain the problem, and lay out all your options. Plus, we'll fix the problem for the price quoted, guaranteed. So call Bonnie for your drain problems and we'll save the day fast. Typically for just $97. For details, go to Bonnie.com. License 696355. BONNEY. Bonnie.com.
The deals on Toyotas are hotter than ever. Get $2,000 cash back on RAV4 or $1,500 cash back on Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
All right, What's on Tap? We will start in football. Kyle, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a little bit of Monday Night Football going on tonight. Pittsburgh going into Raymond James Stadium, taking on those upstart, I love that word, upstart Buccaneers. Ryan Fitzpatrick having a fantastic start. Might continue that tonight, but alas, Jameis Winston back next week. What will happen? Stay tuned. Broken in the last there was pretty awesome. Felt good.
Proud of you.
Buccaneers Steelers 5:15 this evening. Over on the baseball side, starting to finish out the season. The Giants host the Padres. Mitchell versus Holland in the Nobody Cares game. Your Oakland Athletics take on the Seattle Mariners up in Seattle. James Paxton, Daniel Mengden, A's looking to move closer to the Yankees, looking to clinch a playoff spot.
Hey, real quick before we get to Nostradumbass. Dolphins, this is via Cameron Wolf of ESPN. Dolphins defensive lineman William Hayes tore his ACL. He's out for the season.
Ugh.
Why does that matter? Because it happened when he tried not to put his body weight on Derek Carr while sacking him and got his foot caught on the ground.
Jeez.
Brutal, dude.
Okay. Yeah, that is brutal, dude. That sucks. Let's get to, and there will be a lot of talking about that this week. Let's get to Nostradumbass. Nostradumbass, where on Friday we tell you, or try to tell you, what is going to happen on Monday. The first game, I believe, was the Niners-Chiefs. Here's what I said would happen on Friday. Niners versus Chiefs. I do not think Patrick Mahomes is going to pass for 6 touchdowns. I don't think he'll pass for 5 touchdowns. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to pass for 3 touchdowns, and I think Kareem Hunt's going to drop in another couple. I think you're going to see some field goals. I think the Niners will score. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, for the first time in his career, is going to throw for 3 touchdowns. I think Matt Breida will get in for 1. I think that's about it. I'm going to go 41-28. The Chiefs comfortably win this one. I got to be honest with you.
Dude, I'm calling that you nailed it. 41-28. The final was 38-27.
Yep.
Pat Mahomes, 3 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You nailed it, dude.
Not going to lie. I think I get full points. I missed on Matt Breida scoring a touchdown. And I think I said, maybe not Nostradumbass, but I know at some point I said I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to throw for 3 touchdowns for the first time in his career. Maybe he does if he doesn't get hurt.
You said that in there.
Yeah. Did I? Yeah. Okay, I was too busy patting myself on the back there. Overall, I think I get
that's an A for me,
yeah,
dude. You get an A for that.
I think I get an A. All right, Kyle Madson, Nostradumbass, Niners, and Chiefs.
Yeah, Niners, Chiefs, I'm right there with you. I think the 49ers are going to have a really dreadful time slowing the Chiefs down, especially since it looks like Jaquiski Tartt and Akello Witherspoon probably won't play. It's going to make things even more difficult for San Francisco. I'm not sure they get a single stop in this game.
Wow.
Yeah, I expect the Chiefs to score a ton of points, but I'm with you as well. The 49ers, I think, are gonna be able to move the football as well. I think Matt Breida has another good day, both running and receiving. I think we see Dante Pettis catch a touchdown. I think we see Pierre Garçon get in the end zone. George Kittle might get a couple. But I think the Chiefs blow the 49ers out. I'm going to go, you took my score, so I'm going to go 41-30.
Wow, I say 41-28, you say 41-30. I think I also asked you, but I said this wouldn't count as Nostradumbass. Did you say, 1 punt for the Chiefs? They had 2, so you were pretty close there. How many punts will the Chiefs have on Sunday? This won't count. This isn't part of your normal prediction. 2 punts for the Chiefs. Okay, there you go. You nailed it. I'm glad you had that. I had it wrong. I thought you said 1. I mean, listen, you didn't get any of the who would score touchdowns right, but score was pretty close. You nailed the punts. Raiders, Dolphins. Raiders and Miami. Game time temperature around 80 degrees. Going to be very humid. Raiders wearing black. 10 a.m. your time. This is a tough one for Oakland. It is, but once again, I think they will look good or at least decent in the first half. I think this is another situation where the second half runs away from them. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game at all, but I don't think it'll be a 3-0 fest. I'm going to go 24-20 Miami Dolphins with the victory. I mean, dude.
A+.
Right? I was off by 4 points. Got to say. Patted myself on the back.
I was not off by 4 points.
Here's Kyle Madson.
I think we're going to see the Raiders turn back the clock to 1998, man. And and I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Marshawn Lynch in this one. And then off of that, I think we'll see more play action with Derek Carr. And I think they really just try and grind the game out. I don't think we'll see Carr throw like 35 or 40 times. We're going to see a lot of running from Oakland, and I think they grind out a win. I think Marshawn Lynch gets in the end zone 2 times. Derek Carr throws another, and I think the Raiders win 24-14. 24-14
Raiders.
Yeah.
Kyle? We have time for our last one here?
Very quickly.
I don't remember who I picked.
Cowboys Seahawks.
Cowboys Seahawks. Here we go. Cowboys Seahawks. A random game. Always try to pick a fairly tough game to pick, or at least one that's close enough. We're not picking any Bills games, if you get my drift, unless they're playing the Niners or Raiders. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys in Seattle taking on the Seahawks. That is an afternoon game. I think Seattle is not as bad as their record states, 0-2, but I don't think they're very good. I also think the Cowboys, though, aren't very good as well. I think Russell Wilson's finally going to get loose a little bit. I'm going to give him 2 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground, and then, I don't know, give Chris Carson or somebody else a touchdown as well. Ezekiel Elliott will get a couple in there. No. 28-17 Seattle. 28-17 is 24-13.
Another A for me.
This might be my best Nostradamus performance in history. I got to be honest with you. Here's Kyle Madson. Here's Kyle Madson. Alas.
I'm looking at the battle for L.A., the battle for Lakers fans' affection until basketball season starts. Chargers at Rams at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. I think this is going to be the Rams' first real test of the year. They'll win. I do think they win, but I think the Chargers are going to move the football a little bit more than either the Raiders or the Cardinals did, although it's not saying much. The Cardinals took one offensive snap in Rams territory. That's wild.
Wow.
So I like the Rams in this one. 31-27 over the Chargers. I think Phillip Rivers throws for a few touchdowns, and the Rams, though, are just going to eventually have more talent.
What was your final?
30.
I'm going to give you a solid.
31-20.
I'm going to give you a solid B+.
I'll take a B+.
Yeah. That was fantastic work. You know what? We put ourselves on the line every Friday. That's what happened.
You get an A for that performance. I think my overall performance is like a B-, C+.
Sure. I feel like your performance was better. It's just I was so dominant that it don't compare the two.
Yeah, right.
Right?
No, for sure. It's majors and minors over here.
For Kyle Madson, for Eunice, our executive producer of the TV broadcast, I'm Carmichael Dave. Jim Rome is next. Full schedule today, guys. A's tonight. Enjoy the rest of your broadcast day right here on Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye now.